We're running out of time. We need to get on
Okay.
to Wallace and Gromit, our claymation heroes. The focus is away from who's the evil one?
Feathers McGraw. Well, there is a Feathers McGraw cybersecurity aspect.
Well, so we're moving away from traditional crime, espionage, hiding, picking
train
on people,
sets.
train
There was something
sets.
about a train set. in
Just
the
being
first one.
evil.
Bloody terrifying.
Now, I heard that they wanted to animate 50 Feathers McGraws. It cost too much. It was too difficult animating all of them. So they just made one really evil Feathers McGraw. So Feathers McGraw now is teched up.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the tech is pretty good, Kieran. You're quite a big fan of AI. Feathers is attacking Wallace and Gromit with AI.
Yeah, I recall watching this during Christmas. Well, I mean, it's Wallace and Gromit, so it's thoroughly enjoyable. Follows the same sort of approach. And he basically hacks into this new robot that they've created, and then multiple robots that are originally designed, I think, for cutting yards or sort of doing gardening. And they all turn into monsters, and they all go to break him out.
Yeah.
And it is, of course, terrific.
So here are the tech heroes with their glasses on. But basically, it's an Internet of Things point as well, because Feathers is actually exploiting vulnerabilities in hacking into those things.
Yeah, he hacks into the network. Yes, they
So
are
really
Internet of Things. So they have crap cybersecurity. I mean, this is a
Poor
really
password
fantastic
management.
critique of modern technology. There's also some fantastic AI points. Like the opening scene is Gromit's beautiful garden, which looks like the Garden of Eden. It is colourful, it's unique, it's wonderful. And then Norbot, the AI garden gnome, is introduced. And his training data is every episode of DIY Garden Squad. So he's
perfect.
I've got 15 more minutes to do this garden. And then it comes to this this topiary heaven, and then it pans out, drone shot up, and every garden is exactly the same.
But Kieran, more seriously, we visited,
everyone is lovely.
but we visited Ditchley, the wonderful Ditchley house earlier this year, and we're talking about Norbot. And we're not far from this, are we? We watched a £14,000 lawnmower self-mowing the lawn all day and night with no grass-cutting bucket to collect the grass bits in, because it's cutting it so much. And I actually felt ridiculously emotional about this lawnmower, and in the
That would rapidly change if they said, "All right, you go mow it." After about 2 hours, you'll be like, "Let's get the robot."
But you see, it
was adorable, that robot. I loved it.
It's
and
got
also,
eyes,
when
so
it's tired, it takes itself off and recharges itself.
Yeah, no, I think that's emotive language.
But
it's self-charged.
The dogs of Ditchley, they think the robot's stupid. They keep wanting to play ball with the robot, and it just runs over their ball.
Yeah.
And this is another Wallace and Gromit point I wanted to make. AI is inflexible. There is a peril moment where Wallace and Gromit are tied up in a broom cupboard. They've no way of escaping. And then the door opens, and it's Norbot. He's there. They're safe. They're going to be saved. He walks past them, gets his vacuum cleaner, goes, "My job is cleaning," and cleans up the house and leaves them. And that is exactly what AI does, and a human would never do. A human would go, "Oh my God, save them," and then you carry on.
Surely that's just bad training, wouldn't you say, Kieran? That's just bad training data. It needs exception management, and it needs to be able to rescue people.
Better data. This is how to look after human beings' data. This is how to identify someone who's in distress data. This is all we've got to do. We just got to keep until we ultimately will end up with human beings, which will be terrific.
Human beings with mechanical
all the actual
parts.
humans will be dead by that point.
Why do we keep tending towards slavery? Why do we want slaves all the time? I mean, slaves in China, British slaves in slave ships. now we want to turn our robots into slaves. Do we really
Or
think
maybe
there'll
we
be
want
no
to
comeback
turn
from
ourselves into
Anyway,
human slaves
We've
in
had
a
enough
robot
of this.
nation.
This is becoming three-dimensionally strange. Wallace and Gromit AI. Today we have been discussing President Trump's inauguration, peppered with tech billionaires. Last week our guest consigned JavaScript into the Tech Room 101, and that's not been defended at all today. And Wallace and Gromit we've been exploring their critique of cybersecurity and AI done in claymation. Before we finally finish, do we have a comment of the week?
We do.
Alice Taylor, please
So
give
this
us the
is
comment of the week.
from our TikTok account. So this was about the pending, at the time, TikTok ban. I was told since TikTok came out it was a Chinese app, and as soon as they tried to ban it was only when I found out it was made by a Singapore man. The propaganda was strong with this one.
Robin,
Emily,
thank you very
that's
much.
Robin9.
Robin9, thank you very much for your comment. And you're quite right that the chief executive of TikTok in the US is a Singaporean person. However, the parent company ByteDance is a Chinese company. But I agree with you that the propaganda around the national security threat posed by TikTok is very strong. It's one of those really insidious arguments that's hard to push back on, because the threat is obviously real. The risk is obviously real. It's just that there's not really much evidence to support it. What's been really interesting to me is the way that young people have just completely rejected that whole narrative, and are like, screw you, TikTok's fun, I'm carrying on. And Trump, to his credit, I don't give him credit for much, understands this and has capitalised on it.